is such a fun and beautiful and just catchy song. Was this, well, talk about the story then behind creating Silencio.
Yeah, yeah, Silencio. Tony Levin, which is a legend, an iconic musician. He was the co-founder of King Crimson, Stickman, the band that he's touring a lot the last 10 years. But mainly, he's that you can trace his playing to through the years in iconic albums like Double Fantasy, John Lennon Double Fantasy. Tony Levin is there playing with John Lennon. And Peter Gabriel, the last 40 years, in every song of Peter Gabriel, every album, Shock the Monkeys. Um, and he's a great friend for the last 15 years. What a blessing. He's been in all my albums in the last 15 years. And this time I said to him, Tony, please, I want to invite you to this song to play the Chapman stick. It's perfect for this song because it has this 7/4 rhythm. Has this kind of have this. It has this energy of Peter Gabriel stuff and Radiohead, and it has this rock, progressive rock kind of thing. So he was so amazing playing the Chapman stick in this song, and I told him about, okay, the theme of the song is that this guy is pouring his heart out for this girl, and she's not saying anything. I mean, her response is silence. Not even saying don't bother me, or stop texting me, or stop. I don't. Silence, nothing. So it's the desperation of this character of what's going on? Why you don't say anything? At least say fuck you or something, right? So, and he immediately he told me, I remember this phrase that I read like years ago, and he sent it to me. The phrase was, most painful sound, the silence after asking, do you still love me? And I was like, oh my God, yes, I have to include that phrase in the album. So at the end of the song, I include that phrase in English with this effect that is the most painful sound. And it was so cool, and he was so generous with his playing. And I told him, Tony, this time you are a featured artist with me in the song. You are with me there, because people has to know more about you. He's a legend. He's an amazing,
Absolutely.
almost 80 years old already, and he's still rocking
Still
and
rocking. Yeah, it's incredible.
amazing. It's amazing. So yeah, this album is full of those blessings, that kind of blessings. All the featuring artists in this album are musicians that are artists in their own instruments. Aaron Sterling plays with John Mayer, Taylor Swift, David Levita, Garth Brooks. Forget about it. A lot of people. Molly Miller, she tours with Jason Mraz. Oh my God, all the Jeff Babco. He tours with Steve Martin and Martin Short, in the comedy, musical thing that they got. Jeff Babco is there at the piano with them on stage. I mean, he lives here, like half an hour away from my house in Los Angeles. He's an amazing musician, such a great guy, also Ukrainian like me, Babko, Schajris. So, what can I say? This album is really a blessing. It's a very singer-songwriter album. I'm the only writer in the whole thing, producing in my own label, with my own platform. I'm not in the conventional platforms. I'm proposing, let's go back to the album. The hashtag in Spanish is vuelve a ser dueño de tu música, which means let's go back to own our music. So Jamie, you're gonna own my album. You're gonna listen to it. You're gonna take care of it because it's yours to take care of it. It's your album, from my heart to yours. And you, for me, your worth is 10,000 streams. Jamie is equal 10,000 people right now. So that's the value of an album, and that's what we have to do. Yeah.
I know you mentioned that you're the sole writer on this, and I think you said you're the sole music producer when it comes to this as well. Was it important for you to have a say in every aspect for this particular album?
Yeah, but not like in a stubborn kind of way. Huh, I'm gonna do whatever I want. I don't. No, no. Always, everything is a collaborative effort. But I'm the director of the movie. At the end of the day, I decide everything that you're hearing is because I decided to be like that. But of course, every musician, they're artists of their instruments. The musicians they elevated the songs immensely, immensely. So it's this album doesn't exist without the musicians, without my partner, the sound engineer Daniel Galindo from Hermosillo, Sonora to the world, an amazing talent. He recorded and mixed the whole thing, and he was my executive producer too because he was booking the studios and coordinating with the musicians. He helped me a lot. He was my partner in this, but at the end of the day, all the editing, all the decisions, all what to do, what you hear at the end of the day, the movie, the director of the movie is yeah, was me. Yeah.
Silencio sounds like it has such a powerful connection to you personally. Are there other tracks on the album that really have a special place in your heart? Or, of course, they're all your children, but is there something special or maybe one that even challenged you the most creatively when you were creating these songs for the album?
Yeah, when I did Siempre Lo Supe, the song that names the album, hashtag Siempre Lo Supe, the translation of Siempre Lo Supe, it would be like hashtag I always knew, right? So this song that says, Desde que te vi, desde que sentí tu mano sobre mí, inmediatamente supe que eras tú, que te había encontrado al fin. Algo se encendió en mi corazón, tu voz me recordó esa melodía que cantábamos los. That song is very special for me because the melody brings me to this kind of Jobim Brazilian thing that I always loved, but also this jazzy standard, classic song that Billie Holiday can sing or Ella Fitzgerald. You know, it has this classical element, timeless element that I love, and I realized that it's a piano and string song. And the way I did it, it was super special for me because I called Jeremy Rubolino, which is an amazing string arranger here, very Italian, Ennio Morricone kind of vibe. He's a genius. And I told him, my dream is to record piano and strings at the same time with the orchestra. I never did that. I always did the piano and then the orchestra or vice versa, but never at the same time. And we went to this studio called East West Studios here in Hollywood, and it was a dream come true. I was so nervous because you have 65 people waiting the instruction of the conductor, and you're there playing the piano and immediately this thought crosses your mind. Oh my God! If I fuck it up, I ruin the take for 65 people. It's not only me. So it was a lot of pressure, but something magical happened. I don't know. I swear to God, I don't. I just closed my eyes and I played the whole thing. We finished the first take. It was so cool that we said, okay, let's do a couple more just for fun. But I end up using the first take. You're listening to the first take, piano and strings recorded at the same time. Amazing. So
There's
that's
magic in those moments.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So this album is magic. That's why I said, okay, I'm not gonna throw this magic into the, mud puddle of cybernetic information every Friday, and it's gonna get lost in the abyss of information and neurotic, Latin music right now. No, this is special. This is magical. This has value, and I'm gonna create the platform for this album, and I'm gonna make a whole movement of artists to understand that we have to go back to that sacredness. And Ruben Blades, which is an amazing legend of salsa and Latin music, he just published, he posted in his social media a great thing that he said about supporting this
I
movement of,
saw.
yeah, it's crazy, it's amazing. I really thank him publicly, and it's time. It's time to go back to that sacredness of
Is that
music.
what you hope then lingers with the audience, that it is time to go back to that kind of sacred aspect to
Yeah.
music?
And the awareness of that your value is 10,000 people if you buy an album. That's the way to support your artist, your favorite artist. Support the artist buying an album. Of course, there's not too many artists with their own platforms to do so, but that's what I want to encourage. you know Even the going back to, remember, iTunes was amazing. What happened with iTunes? So you know let's go back to the album in whatever platform. you know in my ideal scenario is the artist owns his own platform, but that comes with a privilege, which is having the medium and having the budget and the blessing of having uh, the possibility of funding yourself to build your own platform. That's not something that a lot of newcomers can afford. So let's start changing this thing, and let's creating the platforms, the more fair platforms, so we can go back to albums, and musicians and new artists can share what they value in their hearts with their fans in this direct way, um, and making a living of music again. Um, with no intermediaries, we need to create a new way. I'm proposing this one. I think is the way to go back to reality, because streaming is such a vague thing. The numbers are crazy, millions of billions of no sé qué, and at the end of the day, people has to wake up. They're not real, man. They're not real. There are rooms full of cell phones playing endlessly, non-stop the songs, so you can increase the illusion of having more numbers. For what? There's no. I prefer a human being with a heart feeling your song, your album. What's the use of having 100 million streams, but they're computers? I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy.